So first I'm going to show a mistake that I see a lot of people do, and that's to begin with their shoulders internally rotated. You can see when I internally rotate my shoulders, I have a little bit of round in my back. My erectors are pretty thick, so it's hiding a lot of it, but you can see, that's not the greatest position ever. So now I'm going to show with my lats pulled down. Watch how much flatter and straighter it keeps my back, and watch the relative position of my hips to my shoulders, okay? You can see, and this is not even the best rep, but you can see my shoulders are much closer to my hips, or my hips are much closer to my shoulders. My torso is more upright, and my range of motion is significantly less because the bar is moving almost straight up and down rather than going back so much. So now that you know what to look for, let's go through again and watch in slower motion so that I can really walk you all through. Again, this is the typical kind of poor setup that I see from many people. Shoulders internally rotated, back slightly rounded, not to the point of being dangerous, but you can see how far my shoulders are from my hips. And you can watch as I pull, the bar goes backwards at the top just a little bit. And you can see my shoulders are really going through an arc as they drive the bar up, because I have to eventually get my shoulders over my feet if I want to be balanced. And you can see by the expression of my face, that's not even the most comfortable position for me to be in. So now I'm going to pull the lats down. I'm going to spread the rhomboids. I'm going to flex the triceps. Everything's tight. I'm going to spread the floor, keep the hamstrings tight, the posterior chain tight. And you can see when I descend, watch how much flatter my back is, and more importantly, watch the position of my shoulders relative to my hips. You can see already there, they're closer, and then when I pull my hips down by using those lats, that's a perfect deadlift position right there. And you can see I pull straight up. Now I do have a little bit, because my thighs are pretty big, I do have a little bit of pushing the bar forward to the top, but that's a lot easier to control than when you have to pull the bar back into you and you tend to hitch the weight up, right? I could eliminate that little bump at the top by driving my knees out, keeping the hamstrings even tighter. So let me show you all once more. This is a good rep. Shoulders, knees, feet all stacked, straight up, almost perfect. Again, really got to drive those, keep those hamstrings tight and drive those knees out a little bit more. So now let's see exactly what I'm doing with the lats. That's the internal rotated position. Here is when I pull my lats down. You can see I'm depressing the scapula, and then I'm spreading the rhomboids. I'm trying to drive my shoulders out, really generating tightness in that upper back so that I can't even round at all, even if I wanted to. That's what's going to keep me in that good position. And you can see from bodybuilding purposes, it also really accentuates that taper. So it's a really important movement pattern to learn. We'll watch it one more time. I only lift my hands because it's a nice cue for me to then pull down. So I pull down with the scapula. I spread the rhomboids, drive the shoulders out, and then I break at the hips. Hips and knees at the same time, keeping those hamstrings really, really tight. So that should make a huge difference in your deadlift. One more caveat that Taylor's going to demonstrate here. Once you get set up, you have to hold that tightness, all right? What you'll see a lot of people do is they'll get in that good tight position just like Taylor did there, and then before they pull, they'll just let it all go to shit, right? And then they'll try and, because they saw somebody on the internet do it, they read something about, generating tightness by driving the hips up and then pulling them down. And all those might be valid approaches, but ultimately you have to keep the tightness. You can generate more if that helps you, but you can't just let everything go to slack, okay? That's a really big problem, and it's really going to interfere with your bar path, with your positioning, with your long-term development as a strength athlete, no matter what your goals are.